Ladies and gentlemen, after almost a week's worth of preparation, the Indianapolis 100 is officially here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where today is a big day. The day of the Indianapolis 100. Hello, race fans. I'm Elijah Leonard. As always, over the last week, I've been looking over these cars and just definitely have been very impressed with all the prep that has gone into these 34 race cars, and these drivers are ready to go. We have a little over a dozen drivers that are taking part here, that are a part of the NOS Cup Series, and will get on their planes and fly down to Daytona later today. They will be doing the Freedom 400 for race number 10 of the WLA NOS Cup Series. So it's going to be very fun to see them pull double duty. I believe we have 11 drivers, maybe 11, maybe 12 drivers that are pulling double duty. If not, if it is probably still at 10 drivers doing just that. But nonetheless, it should be very interesting to see how this 40-lap race is going to go. This is not your average Indianapolis 250, where it's not 100 laps, where you can have just a little bit more time to kind of get yourself into a green flag run if possible, and feel out your car and try to make a little bit of adjustments as you go. This is a 100-mile race that's 40 laps. So in my opinion, the stakes could be just a little bit higher. So we're just going to have to wait and see how badly these drivers want this Indianapolis 100. Back in 2017, it was Miriam Judicia who won in a crazy, wild finish after the leaders crashed coming out of turn number 3. And she was in the right place at the right time and ended up scoring the win. 2018, it was Nathan Orman who won the race under caution. Last year, we didn't have an Indianapolis 100, but this year, it's back. On the front row, you see Brandon Nelson in Brandon Nelson in the number 15, and alongside him is NOS Cup Series driver Nathan Orman lining up on the outside. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've done enough talking, so it's time for me to sit back and just listen to these cars. So, with that being said, I know that was kind of really dumb for me to say, but anyways, so with that being said, the drivers are strapped into their race cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 34 cars rolling off, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, that didn't really quite last long, but anyways, a great command there, and the pace car rolls off. All 34 of these cars are fired up, and they are rolling without issue. Starting grid is rolling at the bottom of your screen, by the way. This is it. We've had a wonderful, wonderful time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just had so much go on here. We had the Freedom 50 take place this past Saturday. The Indianapolis 250 yesterday. A lot of these drivers took part in that race. And now, today for the Indianapolis 100. Did I also forget to mention that we also had the NIRA here for the NIRA Indiana Bash. Noah Clifton went on to take the victory in that race. And he is starting pretty deep in the field of car in number 23. So go back and find him. I think, yes, there he is, right behind Elijah Gordon, alongside Dylan Young in the number 14. And there is hometown hero Nathan Stapleton starting in the back of this field. But it should be very fun to see him work his way to the front and try to strategically pick off each of these drivers one by one. Same could be said for Madison Tull, because her race car has just been oh so strong throughout these preparations. So we might want to watch out here for the number 10 of Madison Tull, maybe the number 9 of Nathan Stapleton as well. Both of them are natives of Indiana, so they know what to expect here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. After a week's worth of preparation and waiting, It's all over. The day of the Indianapolis 100 is here. The pace car is off. Brandon Nelson, Nathan Orman will lead him to the green. There it is, and away we go in the Indianapolis 100. Brandon Nelson breaks out with the lead as they go into turn number 3. Torres had second place there for just a little bit, but now he's going to be put up to the outside by the 21 of Cody Smart as they come off of turn number 4. And it will be the number 15 of Brandon Nelson leading lap number 1 of action here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And now they're starting to bunch up a little bit. You have Mitchell Collins in the number 12 on the inside. Thinking about making it 3 wide for the lead, but he's going to think twice of it. He's going to fall right back in line. I've said that a lot during the NIRA Indiana Bash about thinking twice and falling back in line, because that's what you have to do. Sometimes you have to think twice about the situation that you could potentially put yourself in if you make it 3 wide and then just fall right back in line whenever you have the opportunity to do it. Looks like the number 12 of Mitchell Collins is going to end up leading this lap, and he'll lead lap number 2. How about Selena Pinter in the number 30? Started right around mid-pack, and now she has already worked her way up into second place and is now going to try to challenge for the top position as they come off of turn 2. And there you see, look at these drivers. They are already starting to bunch up here at the front of the field, and they're a little strung out in the back, so we might have to watch for a little bit of 3 wide that could potentially take place here, maybe in another lap or 2. And there's the number 32 of Emmanuel Gonzalez coming up into the second position. There's the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater going to lead lap number 3. We've had 3 different leaders thus far here in this race so far, as 3 laps are in the books. Looks like Michael DeFeo in the 81 almost tried to make it 3 wide. Now he is taking part in the NOS Energy Cup Series race later today, along with Zachary Fitzwater, even Ryan Gundillo in the 18 right behind him. And those drivers have really fast race cars, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to do later on today. But before we get to that point, we got to finish up the Indianapolis 100, and they are 3 wide from the looks of it. I thought they were going to go 3 wide, but DeFeo is actually opening the door for Ryan Gundillo to drive to the inside. Hang on, this is at the front of the field. I thought they were going to go 4 wide. Oh no, there they go. There goes Simon Hoskin. Selena Pinter, this is going to be big. This is big. Actually, okay, not as big as I thought it was going to be, but it still was pretty big. The caution flag is out. Mitchell Collins and all the rest were involved, but we got to watch out for this pack back over here because they're pretty gosh darn bunched up. They might wreck again. They might wreck again if they're not careful. Just watch them come down the front straightaway. Oh my goodness. Cody Smart's going to lead him back. Actually, no, it was Ryan Gundillo that led him back to the caution flag. Now these drivers have to be careful. We're not racing anymore. We've taken the caution flag. Now we have to get single file here. And be a little bit considerate here and have a little bit of common sense when it comes to trying to get lined up for the caution flag. And it looks like everybody is going to be able to get lined up just fine. There's Simon Hoskin in the number 88. He ended up finishing final practice, which unfortunately was not on air, right around the 3rd position. And now, unfortunately, he's going to be out of the race, and that is just a tough break for him. There's the number 32 of Emmanuel Gonzalez. You see Mitchell Collins back there. Selena Pinter. She was involved in this one, the driver from Austria, and it looks like we're going to have some takers come down pit road. I see Dylan Cunningham in the 25 is going to make the left-hand turn to pit road. Is there anybody else that's going to go with him? And it looks like that's not going to be the case. So your leader, actually, well, you do have these cars back over here that were involved in that turn 2 crash. But in the meantime, it's Ryan Gundillo in the number 18 who is your race leader. So why don't we go back and see what happened that caused caution flag number 1 here in the Indianapolis 100. We all knew eventually it was coming, but 3 wide just wasn't going to work, and I thought if Ryan Gundillo was going to open the door for Simon Oskin, 4 wide just wasn't going to work. Wheel to wheel right there for Gundillo and Michael DeFeo, but watch this. Gonzalez gets into the wall, comes down on Zachary Fitzwater, then Dylan Cunningham gets involved. See the 88 of Simon Oskin going up right in front of Selena Pinter. And then she gets hit, and then comes down in front of Mitchell Collins. Cody Smart got very lucky there and just dodged a bullet. Just barely dodged that bullet of Mitchell Collins coming down on Cody Smart. But luckily, all 4 of these drivers that were involved are going to be able to continue. So, technically all 5 if you count Dylan Cunningham. But still, all these drivers, looks like they're going to be okay to continue. Actually, with the exception of Simon Oskin, who unfortunately is out of the race. So, that's my bad right there. So the caution flag is out for the very first time here in the Indianapolis 100. Ryan Gundillo is going to be leading them back to the restart after this crash that happened on lap number 6. We will be right back.
Gatlin Downey in the 37, bringing us to the green.
Can Mr. Collins get a run?
And a win, and Ben Crouch is going to take the win here at Pocono.
Side by side, it's going to be a lot away.
Huge push on the outside, 19. Heading down to the stripe, it's going to be Mike Fink Jr., number 38, winning.
Moves him up. Here comes Jesse Orski to the inside.
We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to restart on lap number 10. Only driver out of the race is the number 88 of Samit Oskin. Unfortunately, he smelled what the Rock was cooking. And we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go ahead and restart on lap number 10. So here is how they will line up for the restart. It is the number 18 of Ryan Gundillo, who is going to be your leader coming to the green flag. Then second is the number 81 of Michael DeFeo. Third is the 33 of Eli Bright. Fourth is Ahmed Mahalovic. Then rounding out your top 5, that is the number 20 of Andrew Miller. Then 6th, Zachary Fitzwater. 7th, Jesse Turner. 8th, Cody Smart. 9th, Carter Joey. And Brandon Nelson completes the top 10. Here they come off of turn number 4. Pace car is off, and Ryan Gundillo has control of this restart. And there's the green. We're back underway here in the Indianapolis 100. No drivers are a lap down, so everybody's going to restart completely single file. Now, a single file restart is going to take them a little bit longer to get bunched up, so we'll just have to wait and see how long this green flag run is going to last. Gundillo actually does get a pretty good restart, and Eli Bright and DeFeo are going side by side, and that's exactly what Gundillo wants to see in his rear view mirror. Ryan going to be going back to open wheel racing after this season of the NOS Energy Cup Series is done and over with. Ryan Gundillo is your new leader. Well, he has been your leader ever since he took the caution flag, but he's leading here the Indianapolis 100 as we are a quarter of the way through this race. Mihalovic goes to second. Andrew Miller following right behind him. And here he comes to the inside for the second position. He might try to make it happen. Actually, no. He does not have a good enough run, so he's going to fall right back in behind the number 28 of Ahmed Mihalovic, as he does get by Eli Bright in the 33. Now, Bright's starting to slip back. Looks like the top 6 cars have ended up breaking away from everybody else, but in the meantime, it's Mihalovic trying to chase down Ryan Gundillo, but now not anymore. Andrew Miller coming to the inside for the second position as they work their way through turns 1 and 2, coming up on the back straightaway. Miller might be able to get to the back bumper of Gundillo if he ends up getting the run to do so, as they're back down into turn 3. Mihalovic kind of drifting high there just a little bit. DeFeo going to the inside. And there it is. Battle for the lead. Not really much of a battle because, holy cow, Andrew Miller has got a really fast car. And he just took the lead away from Ryan Gundillo just like that. So now Gundillo gets put up to the top side. Michael DeFeo goes to second. Jesse Turner is following, along with Eli Bright in the number 33. Brandon Nelson looking on, and that's our pole sitter. Hasn't really fallen too far back here in this race, so he's been hanging around in the top 10 early in the going, as we are closing in on halfway, 8 laps away. Well, 7 laps away this time by. And so far, everybody's been clean and green here on this second green flag run. I think everybody's starting to get themselves into a consistent green flag run. I would definitely have to say that, so not too bad. Here comes DeFeo to the inside for the lead on Andrew Miller as they head down the back straightaway. Jesse Turner in the 48 looking on. I think he might try to make it 3 wide here. Looks like he's got a nose peeked out to the inside. DeFeo goes to the top here as they come off of turn number 4. And I think they're 3 wide in the background. Let's go back there and take a look at that. That's Sean Ard and Trey Wright going at it for position. I believe that is for... I may have passed it. Yeah, that's for the 19th position. And Trey's going to lose it to Sean Ard. See, Daniel Voiles is back here. Nathan Stapleton is still back here. The downside to a single file restart is that obviously some drivers are not going to be able to keep up with the rest of the pack, so this is why they're this far back. For others, they've been involved in a wreck. Mihalovic is opening the door for Nick Kennedy to make it 3 wide going into turn number 1, and it is going to be 3 wide going into turn 1, and that's not going to work! Oh my goodness, big crash going into 2. I think I saw Andrew Miller get involved. More drivers. I think that's the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. And it is, oh, Brock Nelson getting into Mihalovic. Oh, Dylan Cunningham flipping on the backstretch. Down on the apron. I think he did stop. I couldn't even get to him, but holy crap. Caution flag is out for the 2nd time today, and it's Brittany White that's going to lead him to the caution flag. There's Greg Rutz in car number 4. Heavily damaged. Same for Andrew Miller, who had himself a really good car, took the lead from Gundillo earlier in the race, and unfortunately is not going to go to victory lane here in this event. Ahmed Mihalovic opened the door for 3 wide and unfortunately just didn't end well. There's the number 25 of Dylan Cunningham involved in another incident. That's our pole sitter, Brandon Nelson, getting involved, and unfortunately his day might be over. So both Nelsons, Brock and Brandon Nelson, get involved, and we have a little bit of a stack up. Eli Bright getting into the back of Madison Tall, so there may be a little bit of wing damage on this number 10 machine, but I think she'll definitely be okay to continue. I can definitely tell you that. So at the moment, it is the number 98 of Brittany White, who is currently your leader, closing in on halfway here in the Indianapolis 100. So why don't we go back and take a look? Actually, wait a minute. I see Jesse Turner and as well as Nathan Orman coming down onto pit road. I think those two might have been involved in some capacity or another. But anyways, we have the 98 of Brittany White leading the charge here under caution. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see what happened that caused our second caution of the day here in Indianapolis. We've had so many tales of turn number 3. This time it's tale of turn 1, part 2. Ahmed Mihalovic opened the door for 3 wide going down the front straightaway, and Nick Kennedy took advantage of that. And obviously, as you can see there goes the 28 flying up into the air. Going side over side, and then he comes back to, I think, no he doesn't. He continues flipping. There's Miller getting involved. There's Nathan Orman getting a piece of this, but he keeps the car straight. He keeps going. Eli Bright. There's Greg Rutz getting into this. Also, you have, that's Miller, but there you see Gordon, Fitzwater, Eli Bright getting involved just a little bit more. Elijah Gordon getting into this as well. But he's probably going to come to pit road. There's Madison Tall, but Dylan Cunningham in the 25. Let's go find him. Where's he at? Let's go find Dylan Cunningham. There he is. So we're going to follow along with him, see how he got involved in this. Looks like he sees the incident. He's going to try to get to the inside as low as he possibly can to avoid Mihalovic. But however, though, actually, nope, he does get by Rutz and Miller. However, though, he comes back up on the track, and there was another crash that was happening. Brock Nelson. Yeah, because Brock Nelson hit Mihalovic, and then he went spinning and hit the outside wall, and he was within the racing line, and Cunningham, I think, was just trying to go high, but he couldn't go high enough, and once he was committed, and just, man, look at that ride that Dylan Cunningham takes on the backstretch, at least towards the inside wall and catch fence. And unfortunately, he's just going to come to rest right there, and his day most likely is going to be done in car number 25. So Nathan Orman was riding in the 12th position when this happened. Watch how he just barely makes it through, but just with a little bit of damage. He got clipped, but somehow he managed to hold on, so good piece of driving there by the number 3 of Nathan Orman. Now let's go on board with the number 25 of Dylan Cunningham. You might as well go ahead and hang on tight and maybe grab your barf bags if you get motion sick. So riding along with Dylan Cunningham, he was way in the back when this happened. He gets by all the rest of the carnage, but just could not see through the smoke with the number 60 of Brock Nelson. Just couldn't see Brock Nelson through the smoke until he got through all that, smoke. So that's a tough break there for Cunningham. It's just could not judge what was on the other side of the smoke, and just got into Brock Nelson. Well, that's tough. That is a tough break for him. But in the meantime, it is the number 98 of Brittany White who is the race leader. So why don't we go ahead and get to the restart here in the Indianapolis 100, just past halfway. One lap, and we will be back to green flag racing in the Indianapolis 100. We will restart halfway here in this big event for the first that's been restarted for the first time since 2018. And they're the drivers that joined Samet Oskin in the garage area. The number 59 is Zachary Fitzwater. The 25 of Dylan Cunningham. The 28 of Ahmed Mihalovic. Brandon Nelson, our pole sitter, in the number 15. The number 20 of Andrew Miller. And then Greg Rutz and Brock Nelson. All of those drivers have unfortunately smelled what the Rock was cooking. And here's your top 10 coming to the restart. It is Brittany White who is out front, and then second, Carter Joey. Third, Nick Kennedy. Fourth, Cody Smart. Fifth, Ryan Gundillo. Sixth is Michael DeFeo. Seventh is Josh Torres. Eighth, Sean Ard. Ninth, Darren Allen. And completing your top 10, that is Roger Ray. Here we come to the restart here in the Indianapolis 100. And Brittany White leads the charge to the green halfway. 20 down, 20 to go here in the Indianapolis 100. Just like in the previous caution, no drivers are a lap down. And this restart is just a little bit more spread out, if you know what I mean. But top 5 cars have broken away from Michael DeFeo as they hit the back straightaway. And they're starting to get a little bit of side-by-side, getting a little racy back there, but nonetheless, up at the front of the field, still single file for the time being. Here comes Nick Kennedy to the inside for second. And it looks like Kennedy's going to be able to get the position on Carter Joey as they cross the start-finish line. 21 laps complete. It is Brittany White continuing to lead. Battle for third. Cody Smart getting by Carter Joey. So now move Smart to third, Gondola to fourth, and Carter Joey gets kicked back to fifth. On the inside, there is Nick Kennedy in the number 31 trying to take it away from Brittany White. And going into turn number 3, he's going to do just that. How about Gundillo making the move for third? Oh boy, that would have been chaotic right there. Wait a minute, crash! DeFeo up into the catch fence. Darren Allen smoke. Oh no, more trouble. That's Gordon going around on the front stretch. Oh, more carnage. Nathan Orman getting into this. His rear end got jacked up and the caution flag is out for the third time. I'm telling you, the stakes are starting to get just a little bit higher. So is the intensity rate. And once these drivers just get a little bit more aggressive, unfortunately, stuff like this happens. Eli Bright will not go to victory lane in the Indianapolis 100, so he'll have to wait until we get to Daytona to go to victory lane there in the Non-Synergy Cup race. That is just a tough break for him. Nathan Orman got involved in this one, but the damage on that number 3 is a little moderate, so I think he's going to be all right to continue. Hopefully, he'll be okay to continue, but he's not going to be up to speed with everybody else. There's Noah Clifton in the 23. Apparently, he has a little problem with his car. The right wing is a little jacked up. He might have some sort of problem with his race car. The winner of the NIRA Indiana Bash from Saturday, unfortunately, is not going to be able to win this one. He comes down pit road. He might have a little bit of damage on that number 23. But in the meantime, it is the number 31 of Nick Kennedy who is out front. So let's take a look and see what happened that caused caution flag number 3 here in the Indianapolis 100. So DeFeo was going 230 miles an hour going into turn number 1. That's actually pretty fast, if to say the least. But unfortunately, that was just enough speed to wash him up the racetrack. And he had to slow down a little bit so that way he could avoid getting into the outside wall. Unfortunately, didn't quite accomplish that. He gets into the wall, comes down on Darren Allen. And at this point, they're both along for the ride. Allen goes in the grass, comes back up into DeFeo, and then BAM! Both drivers go into the wall hard, especially Michael DeFeo. He goes into the catch fence, and it takes a while to ride there. But this time now, we're going to follow along with Darren Allen, because all these other drivers are trying to get by Allen. Cologne gets involved just a little bit. So does Juan Fernandez, but here comes Gordon. He gets on the brakes, hits the back end of the number 19. Ozam Hamid gets by. There's where Noah Clifton gets involved. Nathan Orman, both Tall and Stapleton get by, but Orman gets into it. He just taps the back end of the 24. Daniel Voiles also gets involved, our winner from Michigan in the Cup Series from last week. Then in the background, see Mitchell Collins jacking up his own teammate's rear end. Literally jacking it up. My oh my though, what a just past halfway, and the intensity rate starting to get a little higher. The drivers are starting to get a little more aggressive. And with that, a bigger price is definitely going to be paid here in this race. Unfortunately, Elijah Gordon, Eli Bright, Darren Allen, even Michael DeFeo are going to be out of this race. Unfortunately, that is a tough break for those four. Heading into the commercial break, we're going to ride along with Elijah Gordon and take a look at his view of the crash. Unfortunately, he and a few other drivers that are taking part in the Cup race later today will have to wait until then in order to score a victory. As Gordon, among others, unfortunately, are out of it.
Long, long ago, in a faraway land, there lived a young man named Daniel. When Daniel was a boy, he was taken from his home in Judah to live in a city called Babylon, where he went to school in the palace of the Babylonian king. Daniel missed his home very much, and every day he prayed that God would take care of his family and his friends and look after him too. God heard his prayers and helped Daniel become wise as he grew older, till everyone in the palace knew of his wisdom. Then one night, while Babylon was sleeping, the king had a dream.
We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to restart on lap 27. And there are the drivers that join the other groups of cars that were involved. Eli Bright in the number 33 out with an oil pump issue after that crash. Then you have DeFeo out along with Darren Allen and Elijah Gordon. They joined Fitzy from all the way down to Fitzy on down to Sam and Askin. Those drivers unfortunately have smelled what the rock was cooking. This field is getting smaller and smaller. So for some drivers that are, that are still in this race, they got to be feeling pretty lucky because they still have some sort of shot at either winning the Indianapolis 100 or getting a very good finish. So we only have 22 cars left on the racetrack, and none of them are a lap down. So I'm actually pretty surprised that we don't have any lappers down on the inside. So it's actually pretty good. I'd have to say that's actually a pretty good accomplishment for this race. Here we come to the restart. It is Nick Kennedy that's going to lead the field down to the green. 14 laps to go. He and Ryan Gundillo got a really good restart. Here comes Gundillo down to the inside for the lead, coming out of turn number 1. The intensity rate, as I said earlier, is starting to pick up, so do expect these drivers to be just a little bit more aggressive and take a little bit more and give a little bit less. So Gundillo now is going to go to the lead. Going into turn 3, coming out of turn number 3. Now Brittany White is going to make a move to the inside. She might try to get two birds with one stone here as we come off the corner, and she's going to do just that. Brittany White to the inside of Ryan Gundillo for the lead. Going into turn number 1, not Ryan Gundillo, Cody Smart looking on, almost getting into the left rear of Gundillo. Remember, Cody Smart is among those drivers that is in the NOS Energy Cup race later today, so if he were to win this race, that would give him an opportunity to pull off the sweep. Almost making it 3 wide is the 31 of Nick Kennedy, and almost getting into the left rear of Cody Smart is Nick Kennedy. Hopefully we can have a green flag run the rest of the way home. And it's Cody Smart taking over second. Brittany White is the new leader in the Indianapolis 100, closing in on 10 to go here in this race. We had somebody come out of the pits, and they're making their way back out on track. That is the 48 of Jesse Turner, who unfortunately is out of contention for the win, but he can still go for a pretty good finish. So now he'll fall to being a lap down in the number 48. But either way, if we were to get a restart within 10 laps to go, no lappers would line up on the inside anyway, because it would just be a single file restart. Here comes the number 31 of Nick Kennedy to the inside for the top position. He's going to lead that lap. My, oh my, I'm telling you, I said at the top of the show, this is not your average Indianapolis 250. This is a 40-lap sprint. So the stakes are just a little bit higher, and these drivers are just going to be a little bit more aggressive. Here comes Torres. Here comes the 5 of Carter, Joey. I thought he was going to make a move underneath of his teammate, but just not the case. Torres to the inside for the lead, coming out of turn number 4, heading down to the start-finish line. Who's going to lead this lap with 10 to go? It's Torres. 10 to go here in the Indianapolis 100. How about Sean Ard of the number 39? He's called an Oxygen Cup event or two with me, and now here he is with a shot to win the Indianapolis 100. How about that for Sean Ard, the man from Texas? He could have something to say here by the time this thing is over. Both Aero Electric cars are out front here. Sean Ard trying to make it 3 wide. He's not going to accomplish that, because now the 5 of Carter, Joey, has managed to break out of that 3 wide situation, and now he goes to the outside. Ard to the inside. Roger Ray in the 63. Dylan Young has a shot to win this race as they come off the corner. Going out of turn number 2, they are 3 wide down the back straightaway. This is not going to be good. This could be the tail of turn 3, part 7, if they don't get out of this one. And they may not get out of this one. They're still 3 wide. Oh boy, there they go! There they go! Torres in the wall. So is Sean Ard and Carter Joey. Oh, Daniel Voiles gets collected. The caution flag is out for the 4th time, and we're going to have a restart within 10 laps to go, maybe 5 laps to go, and Dylan Young is the leader. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry if I was silent there during that caution run. Man, that just... I was a little speechless there, because they were doing they were doing so well going through turn 3, but unfortunately the luck just ran out for all these drivers, and they went 3 wide coming off of turn number 2, but that carried going into turn number 3, and they just didn't make it. That was the tail of turn 3, part 7. Not really much that the drivers could have done there to get out of that 3 wide situation anyway, but unfortunately just they weren't able to get out of it, and obviously you saw what happened there. And it looks like all these drivers are waiting for Roger Ray to go around Gondillo and Cody Smart, because right now Roger Ray is being shown in the 2nd position. Looks like Cody Smart, I think, is going to make the left-hand turn to pit road. Maybe not. I think they were just giving him a little bit more room to kind of go around, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So all these drivers are going to catch back up with Dylan Young, and as well as the pace car. That's a nice looking pace car, by the way. Nice LED lights on the doors and all that stuff. But anyways, the number 14 of Dylan Young leads the way, and there's a pretty darn good chance that we're going to restart within 5 laps to go. So don't go away, don't touch that dial, don't even go to a different video. We're going to have ourselves a really good restart. But before we get to that point, we got to review this crash that happened going into turn number 3. So let's take a look at that one right now. So as I said earlier, it's the tail of turn 3, part 7. Going into going into the third corner, they were just 3 wide going through. They were just 3 wide. Both Era Electric cars were in that situation. But then Sean Ard was put into that situation. And then all of a sudden, looks like Smart pushes Taurus up into Carter Joey and Sean Ard and puts them and gets them a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see what happened there anyway. It's kind of hard to explain. But Taurus was upside down. He got into the catch fence and the safer barrier. Sean Ard was right up against the wall, but then Daniel Voiles, he's going to come into frame here in the number 26. Well, we're just going to follow along with him. He tries to slow down. He goes to the high side, but just didn't go high enough. And gets into and his left front hits the right rear of, looks like that was the 5 Carter Joey. And indeed it was. And it even hits Sean Ard in the 39, who unfortunately is going to be out of it here in the Indianapolis 100. So before we get to the restart, we're going to ride along with Daniel Voiles via visor cam, because this is what his perspective looked like. The crash happens. He goes high, just didn't go high enough. He actually could have made the opportunity to go low if he had it, but the thing is, as I probably said earlier, I can't even speak. Once you commit, you are committed, and there is no turning back. It's kind of like the climax of the story, where there's just once you make a decision, there's no turning back. And that's exactly what happened with Daniel Voiles. He reached his climax as far as that wreck went. He committed to the high side, and once he was committed, there was no turning back, and unfortunately, this is the result. So unfortunately, Daniel Voiles is going to be out of this one. And in the meantime, it is the number 14 of Dylan Young who has a shot of winning the Indianapolis 100. He is your race leader. So why don't we go ahead and get to the restart here in the Indianapolis 100, potentially within 5 laps to go. And just as I said, they're going to restart within 5 laps to go. That's right. They're going to restart within 5 laps to go, and it'll be 4 to go when they cross the stripe this time for the restart. Unfortunately, guys like Carter Joey, Sean Ard, and Daniel Voiles are out of it. Looks like Josh Taurus is going to be able to continue, but I'm a little unsure of what his speed is going to look like. But the benefit of this whole thing is he's near the back, so he should be able to. He's not going to be in the way of the leaders. But here we go. 4 laps to go. This time it is Dylan Young out front, Roger Ray second, Cody Smart third, Gundillo fourth, Stephen Colon fifth. Who's going to win the Indianapolis 100? Green flag back in the air. Dylan Young gets a really good restart there, and so did Roger Ray in the number 63. Here they come. Down the short chute. Down into turn number 2. Heading down the back straightaway now. Gundillo makes the move for third. Underneath of Cody Smart, you have Stephen Colon back there as well. If anything were to happen to the front to these two, he could make an opportunity to dive to the inside for third place. But Cody Smart's got to be put up on the high side by Ryan Gundillo. How about Brittany White making a little bit of noise underneath of Nick Kennedy? That is to get into the 6th position. Here we come, 3 to go. Roger Ray makes the move to the inside. He's going to try to make it. He's going to try to make it happen. Down to the inside goes Roger Ray, side by side for the lead. Ryan Gundillo is right there as well, going into turn number 2. Off of turn 2, down the back straightaway once again. This is getting intense. This is getting super intense here within these final few laps of the Indianapolis 100. Here they go, down into turn number 3. Gundillo is going to take over the 2nd position, 2 to go. He might get 2 birds with 1 stone as we come off the corner. Maybe not. Here comes Stephen Colon to the inside. He's going to try to get there, but just doesn't have enough help. 2 laps to go. Oh, Gundillo is right there. He could make a move coming off of turn number 1, and he is going to do that. Here comes Gundillo to the inside for the lead as they come off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. And they are coming to the white flag. They are side by side for position number 1. And this is for the win. Gundillo is going to be able to clear Roger Ray. Here they come to the white flag. In the Indianapolis 100, it is Ryan Gundillo out front. The question is, will he be leading? Coming back to the checker flag. There's the white flag. One more lap to go. This is it. This is it. Gundillo leading. Here comes Stephen Colon to the inside. Now Gundillo has to give way. There's Colon to the inside. Down the back straightaway one last time. Oh, Brittany White could potentially make it 3 wide if something were to happen. Is she going to do it? She's going to do it. She's going to make it 3 wide. Oh, they're wrecking. Brittany White is out front. Ozam Hamid's right there, so is Dylan Young. Here they come off of turn number 4. And in chaotic fashion, Brittany White is going to steal it here at Indy. Brittany White just stole that one. Holy cow. You might as well call Brittany White the female intimidator, because she just made that work somehow. And she wins the Indianapolis 100. What in the world did I just see? Holy cow. Oh man. Brittany White is your 2020 Indianapolis 100 winner. Oh man, that was the most chaotic way to win the Indianapolis 100 that I've personally ever seen. But she definitely did put herself in the right place at the right time, and Brittany White is gonna go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway victory lane in the Indianapolis 100. Holy cow, we gotta take a look and see what happened that brought out this 5th and final caution of the race that ultimately won Brittany White the race. Let's take a look at it right now. It was because of this move that Brittany White made. Stephen Colon just basically opened the door for Brittany White. But Ryan Gundillo was also right there as well, and those drivers, they both go up into the outside wall just on the exit of turn number 3. Look how far Gundillo and the number 22 of Stephen Colon went flying. Roger Ray got collected in this one. Nathan Stapleton tried to commit to the high side. He did it, but also they went up the high side, and Stapleton got into the wall and just got squeezed up there. But my goodness gracious, Brittany White won this race. But unfortunately, there were some repercussions that did follow that, and it was this with Colon, Gundillo, and Stapleton with wrecked race cars. And what could have been a good finish for them, they're still going to get a good finish either way, but not the finishes that all 3 of these drivers were looking for. This is the visor cam of Nathan Stapleton. He was en route for a top 10 finish when this happened. He goes high, commits. However, Gundillo and Colon wash up the racetrack. Man, look at those 2 cars just floating up in the air. The sparks are flying, even though the cars are just levitating there. But my goodness, that's a tough break for the Indiana native, like I said, who was en route for a top 10 finish, but unfortunately just got collected in a mess that was just none of his own doing. My goodness, that was a really crazy finish to the Indianapolis 100. I told you, like I said, this was not your average Indianapolis 250, and it proved to be just that. Holy crap. So Brittany White ends up being the winner after a chaotic fashion, after just winning in a chaotic way. She's your winner. Ozam Hamid finishing 2nd, Dylan Young 3rd, Nick Kennedy 4th, Madison Tall completes the top 5 after starting in the back. Then you have Juan Fernandez finishing in the 6th position. Yep, yeah. That's pretty self-explanatory. Cody Smart 7th, Then you have Mitchell Collins 8th, Trey Wright 9th, and Roger Ray completes the top 10. Holy crap. That was a race right there if I've ever seen one. And my gosh, I'm so glad that you guys were able to tune in along with us and just watch everything unfold. But Brittany White is the winner of the 2020 Indianapolis 100. That is a huge congratulations to Brittany White. Not, unfortunately, just for our NOS Energy Cup side, just not doing the best over there, but definitely this definitely is some really good medicine. Winning is the best medicine when it comes to being a race car driver. But anyways, that's got to be pretty big news for Brittany White and for the rest of the NOS Energy Cup drivers that are taking part in the Freedom 400 later today. They're going to have to get on their planes and fly down to Daytona. It's going to be sunny down in Daytona so for that race. So that's going to be really fun to watch right there. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the video, go ahead, give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And coming up next will be, I think actually, for Monday, it's Grand Slam. That's definitely for sure. That's going to be live streamed. But before that, I can't even say anything. Before Grand Slam is the Freedom 400 that will take place at 5 o'clock Eastern. So hopefully you guys tune right back in for the NOS Energy Cup race. And that about does it for me. I'm Elijah Leonard from the Leonard Station signing out, saying thank you so much for watching the Indianapolis 100. And we will see you guys later today in Daytona.